Mataji. Morning, everyone. Let's bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini, and put Bandhan. Shri Ganesh Mantra.
साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः।
Let's bring our attention on our left heart. Shri Mataji, we humbly request you to come in our heart. Let's bring our attention on Sahasrara. Mataji, kindly bless us silence and balance. Let us listen to Shri Mataji's speech.
aware of it. You are just thrown out. Now, collectivity in Sahaja Yoga does not mean that you wear some kind of dresses, all of you wearing same kind of dresses, or doing the same type of thing, or jumping, or any such thing which has no sensible logic in it. It is the collectivity that you feel within yourself, that nearness you feel, not emotionally. Also, I would say, people think it's an emotional attachment to people. It's not emotionally also. It is beyond emotions, it is beyond thought, it is the spirit. Because everybody has got this spirit in them. Only thing you have to become the spirit. Now, anything you see, even we can say going to a temple. Now in India, ladies are busy dressing up if they have to go to temple. They'll find out what sari she's wearing, what sari am I going to wear. Like we do it in the churches also. We go there with our best dresses, just watching what dress she has worn. Then we come out of the church, directly we ask a question, where did you get this one? You see? So the whole attention is on a social contact, a social mass feeling within ourselves. So we are not individuals at all at that time, not at all. First we have to be absolute individuals. And then you become a complete, aware part of the whole. But if you are not an individual, say that's why people who belong to these sects or belong to some sort of a commitment or to an organized place, they find it difficult. Because they are not yet prepared to accept that individual jump into the whole. If the whole of it comes, well and good. If the whole doesn't come, they are sticking on to it. Though it can be very superficial also. Like you see in England is a custom to put the fork and spoon in a particular way. In France it is different. In somewhere it is different. Now even that can be a club forming stuff for us. Because you see we are Americans, will put it this way. We are English, we'll put it this way. If you are French, we'll put it this way. But it is such a superficial sort of a thing. And if you go into it, it's all superficial. All our clubbing is superficial. Now, if you start getting after it and reacting against it, then you are destroying yourself. You are completely destroyed. There is no need to destroy anything like that. But to be understanding that this is superficial, nothing, you should not waste your energy in fighting any one of these. There is no need to fight anything to get out of it. There is no need to fight any such thing. What happens that by fighting, you lose your energy for nothing at all. On the contrary, you should understand that all these things are artificial and you should wait for a moment when you get the reality. But if you fight them also, there's a problem. If you don't fight them and you become one, there's a problem. So both things are energy sapping. We go on thinking about it. Where do we reach? We reach nowhere. So Sahaja Yoga is a system which is the system of the nature. It is not a system of human beings which is artificial or an organization or a mass movement, nothing of the kind. It is the system of the nature itself which has made you a human being, an individual, now like an egg. Now this individual has to become not the mass, which is an animal instinct, but to become collectively conscious. Has to become. Is a consciousness. Means on the central nervous system you feel that consciousness. And that is what is the reality. We go about into anything understanding that this is right, that is all mental. If you understand everything, whatever is mentally available, you are still in the shell. But what you feel is the point. What you feel on your central nervous system is your real consciousness. The rest of it is your mental activities, imagination, and whatever is mental is man-made. It has no meaning. Like we have written books after books, I don't know how many energies have been wasted in doing all sorts of things. Books after books have written about this, that, all kinds of yarns and yarns of, I should say, imaginary wanderings about things. But that's not the thing, you see. It's within yourself. That's within yourself. Your own spirit resides there in your heart. Is your own power which you should get. And if you can feel that power, then you will be amazed that you don't have to have any United Nations organization and all that. You really enter into the kingdom of God in the sense that you get that power of love, which makes you extremely loving, sweet, I should say magnetic, extremely gentle, and also could be very powerful if it comes to use of power. It's extremely powerful. In your behavior, you become an extremely attractive person in the sense that you do not give trouble to others. You do not, on the contrary, you are a troubleshooter, I should say. You are a person who is a peacemaker. Wherever you stand, you create peace and happiness. But this is still outward. Inside, you are so tranquil and blissful. And the highest above is that you are so connected that even verbally, if you ask any question, is there God? You start getting great vibrations. The rapport is established. You can see the rapport is now established. You can talk to God. It's easy to say that there is no God. It's very good because then we have no headaches, people think. But all the headaches come because of this kind of a belief also that there is no God. And also there will be headaches if you believe that there is God without knowing. Both things, according to me, are still the two sides of a pendulum. It is not in the center. Or we can say, this is how we go to the right and to the left, but do not ascend. For the ascent, this actual thing, this living thing, this germination has to take place. And that is why Sahaja Yoga transcends all these nonsensical sects. Absolutely. It has no respect for them. It has no respect because it saps the energy of human beings. It puts them down. It doesn't give them chance to rise to their own power which is within themselves. But with understanding that after all human beings are ignorant about it, they are not very sure. It's all right if they're involved with any other such things, doesn't matter. But in a sect, if you go, I was surprised, I went to a Unity Church, imagine, Unity Church in Houston. They were kind enough to invite me there, and they didn't know how outspoken I was about things, you see. Poor things were in for trouble, I think, after my coming. But whatever it is, I was surprised. They were selling all kinds of books there, all kinds, which are satanic, which are mass movements, which are very detrimental to human beings. And they knew they were. Like in a church, they were selling books of a man who is teaching licentiousness, permissiveness. Can you imagine? Such contradictory thing. I mean, either Christ was wrong or this man was wrong. How can you have both the things together? And they were saying this is unity. This is not unity. This is not unity. This is such a superficial unity of getting all the dust, filth, everything together and gold with it and say, now you have it. Do you put in your food the poison and then eat it because you want to unite it? You can only unite things which can be united. You cannot unite all the mess of the world together and say this is unity. You cannot unite Christ with a man who is teaching licentiousness, permissiveness, and all kinds of dirty tricks. So one has to understand the mind plays a very big trick in this, that the mind itself is a very, very tricky thing. It's a very intelligent thing. It beats you there. And you start understanding, oh, let it be, doesn't matter. And you start compromising. How can there be compromise between the food and the poison? Can you have strychnine with food? Simple thing as that. We have to separate. We have to say, this is wrong, this is right. Whether people like it or not, if we have to respect human life, if you have to respect this great creation of God, if you have to see that they get what that is promised to them, are we going to play with their lives, with their body, with everything? Like there are some people who believe that drugs can take you to God. I mean, just imagine the absurdity of it. Now, thank God people know that drugs harm your attention, harm your awareness. There was a book written, I was told, I met somebody in Vancouver who's got a PhD by a book which was written about, I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman, who has described that the alcohol takes you to spiritual life. And I say absurd. The thing that goes against your awareness itself, how can it take you to awareness which is enlightened? It would be something like cover this light, break all the bulbs, everything, and that will take you to light. It is absolutely absurd. The whole statement is absurd. You cannot go to God if you try to harm your body, harm your mind, harm yourself. Even a person who has had a bad childhood, who is suffered because of something, say war or something. Even such a person is little less blessed. In the beginning, we have to work on him to put his mind at rest, to put his body at rest, to see that there is equilibrium within him, and then only he can get realization. Anybody who is a disturbed man, who is upset, we have to put it right. Now, some people have definitely felt that drugs are going to solve the problem. Honestly, they have felt it. I know they have been very honest about it. They have taken drugs, doesn't matter. That also can be neutralized. Because you are seekers, you have just done that because you are seeking. Is that the main thing is that you must seek and that you must get it. Is the main object of Sahaja Yoga, that is your. So whatever may come, whatever may have happened, doesn't matter. It's going to be corrected, it's going to work out. And then overnight people give up because they realize that this is it. All problems of humanity are because we have not yet found out our spirit, which is a collective being. All international problems, all your political problems, all your economic problems come from that one thing which has not happened to human being. You are still in transition. I would say it would be something like people who are still in the water getting halfway up and halfway down. They don't know whether we are going to be saved or not. But once we have reached the shores, that's all right. Reach the shores. That's all right. That's a little breakthrough that has to take place, and people have to establish their collective consciousness. So there are many who get realization. You see, many come here, they get their realization, then disappear. I've seen. They feel very happy, everything done now. Nothing. You have to become collectively conscious after that. Means you have to educate yourself to understand how to feel that collectivity within yourself. That is more important, more difficult for human beings. Because they are all like, a quick happening, a very quick happening. And the quick happening takes place, no doubt. But that quick happening is just taking you to a point where you have to stay. You have to become. If becoming is a thing, like an egg breaks into a nice little bird, but the bird must learn to fly. If it does not educate itself to fly, it remains something in between egg and bird, and anybody can eat that off. It has no quality as a bird which can save itself, protect itself, and can fly and enjoy. It has no quality of a bird if it is just roaming about like cock and hens. You see, when they were in the forest, they used to fly. I have seen these forest ones flying very high. They can fly just like a eagle. But if you see them on the ground, if they are settled down on the ground, they are eaten up by people who can catch them. Anybody can catch them. So to have that quality, to quality of that collective being, one has to educate and rise above that shell system, that system that has bound them, that has made them an individual, which was important to have a shell for you. The individuality was very, very important, otherwise you would not have been matured. So that a time comes that shell must be broken. Like now, the car is important for me to bring down here, but I have to leave the car to come down inside. In the same way, you have reached a certain stage that up to that point it was all right, but you don't have to carry it on any further, and you have to settle down with a new dimension, a new life within you. And that's what is your second birth. For this, God has placed everything within ourselves. You see that a system. Did anybody speak about Kundalini? You should have. All right, doesn't matter. Now, you see, every time I don't want to report about Kundalini and all that. And there is a system within us called the Kundalini. All is within us. Now, it is very easy to sit down and say, now, Mother, how do you say it is so? I mean, it's good, you see, because people want to know about it. How is it? We have the Kundalini in the triangular bone. And then we say that there are subtle centers which look after, which manifest outside our gross centers and all these things. We do talk about it. But you can all doubt that saying, how can there be such a thing? How are we to believe you? But why not? Because I'm not taking any money from you, nothing. By believing me, what is your losses? Nothing. Now the people who are here, you should see and ask them, their lives are all changed. They have become different people. They are enjoying themselves, they have got their own powers, they can manifest them, they have become experts, they look so simple, just like you. But if you see their faces, you'll see how blooming they are. Apart from that they know all about it. They are masters and scholars, and they are great gurus sitting down here around you, and you can also become that. So there's nothing to doubt. But now supposing you are a doubting Thomas, you see, you will doubt. I don't mind. If you doubt also, we'll try to solve the doubt. The main thing is of making you the spirit. That's our job. For that we are here, and you are also for that. So it is better to cooperate with us than to argue and discuss and spoil everybody's attention. You see, some people are such reactionaries. They come, ask questions, and when it comes to realization, they just run away. Mostly we have seen such people who sit down with a very doubting mind all the time. But for what are you doubting? What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose here? Nothing. If you have a cancer, you can be cured. If you have mental problems, they can be cured. All the problems can be cured as a blessing of God. It's true. And apart from that, you become your own power. But if it is a mass system, we don't doubt. You see, so for example, we go to church, we don't doubt. We don't doubt. We don't doubt the priest, we don't doubt anybody. We go to a temple, we never doubt the priest. We just pay as everybody's paying. It's a mass system. Where it is not. Here you are an individual. That's why you doubt. You are an individual now and you doubt. But I would suggest that better to have your realization than to waste your energy in doubting. Because if you are all seekers, we are going to get your realization, if not today, tomorrow. But only thing, why delay? Sooner, the better. But if you have any questions, I would like to answer them. We have all this Kundalini and all that, and I wish Kevin had told you about it, or somebody should have told you. Next time, we'll have a lecture about Kundalini, what it is, how it gives realization, how it rises, how it pierces through different chakras, pierces through your fontanelle bone area, and also how it gives you these Chaitanya Laharis, what we call as the cool breeze in the hand, cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. And that's what you have to see. Now, if you have any questions, you may ask, because when you are getting realization, I want you to be free, because you have to go beyond thought, and it just happens without any difficulty. There's nothing to worry. Now, there are people who say that Kundalini is very dangerous and all that. Maybe for people who do not know anything about it. Like if you put your hand inside this, you'll get a shock, because they don't know what this means, you see. But the one who knows the job knows it. It's very simple. Even children can do it if they know it. If you have any questions, please ask me. You should ask me some questions. How many of you have listened to the radio and have come? Any one of you? It's good, good. Yes, it's good. So you thought it was very convincing what he said? Is it? Good. I'm happy. That's John. He's doing theology and he's now fed up. He says, Mother, theology is just talk, 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 talk. And but he should have said one more point, as I said. John and Ferguson, Fergie, is he here? Yeah. Fergie, he's there. Both of them had gone. But he didn't say that you get your own power. You see, in a cult, you do not get anybody's your power. You're just like mad, all of you, walking into some sort of a blind alley, but you don't know where you are leading to. You must know what you are doing, what it is, everything about it. Good, I'm happy that you were so convinced by his this thing. But we found it impossible to handle these people of the media, the very funny, upset people, I tell you. They don't want to, they abhor truth. I really tell you, they abhor truth. Most surprising is that when you tell them the truth, they are really upset. They don't want to hear. You see, if you tell them some hanky-panky stories, they're very happy. And they would like to help you if there's an hanky-panky story behind it. But if you say, oh, you can get your realization, you are the truth, you are the spirit, they don't want to listen to you. They're very funny people, you know. They can't believe it. It can be. Why? Why shouldn't we have confidence in ourselves? After all, are we going to seek it again next year and next year? Why postpone it? If it is so, why not have it? This is the first time the radio people have allowed somebody to speak, while Sahaja Yoga has been growing very slowly. If the media help us, you see, understanding how important it is and vital that it should grow in these countries, because in India it's much easier. Much easier. When thousands and thousands it's working out in the villages and all. But here you see media is so important and so powerful. Thank God we are not so developed. So we don't depend on media so much in India. And the newspaper people are also understand that truth has to be there. And they help us. They have been very helpful in India compared to here. Here nobody wants to even publish an article on Sahaja Yoga, nothing. Can you imagine? Nobody wants to do anything about it. Yogis? Use what? Huh? Yes, now, I don't know who told you that. I'd say it should not be told, because you see people get frightened with the idea that why use my photograph? You see, the problem is this way. Now see, the trouble is my photograph has got vibrations. Now what to do? The problem is like this. It has tremendous vibrations. Not only, but it can cure people. There was a boy in America who was down with blood cancer. And that the parents of the boy came to see me in a very far-fetched village. And they wanted that the boy should be cured. So I didn't know what. I said, all right, give me his photograph, I'll work on it. But in any case, I sent them, asked them to telephone one of the Sahaja Yogis in New York. She has only my photograph. And she used it, and the boy is cured. Now supposing if it is so, say it's a penicillin injection, or you can call it something, you see, a miracle drug, for example. Say my photograph is, then should we not use it? Now supposing it is. That's what it is. What can I do about it? I didn't know that the camera would be so good. Really, I didn't know. Camera is much more sensitive than human beings are. I must tell you. You see, there are so many things that camera has caught up, which human beings cannot catch. Like one day I was sitting in a village giving lecture in a place where a realized soul had died, a great realized soul. And the camera caught, I can feel it, but you people do not see it with your eyes. A great flood of light was falling on my head. Flood of light. And the camera caught it. And 6 times it happened, and the camera caught it 6 times. And 7 times I just did like this, and it stopped. It's just there in the camera. I don't know if they have brought the photograph, but we have that photograph with us. And you can see for yourself. You see. Camera is so sensitive and so honest and so deep that the way things have been shown by a camera. The other day, somebody took photograph of my feet in India with that instant camera. And both my feet, you see, I was telling them that these two centers are working very much. And they are on the feet, you see. And from my toe, you could see a shaft of light coming out from one of the toes and one of the fingers, which I had said these centers are catching. So camera caught it. There must be something about me also, isn't it? Must be, of course. It's there. But it's better to see. And I always tell Sahaj Yogis not to tell about the photograph just now to anyone, because if you tell them, they get upset. You see, they think, oh God, is she going to dominate me? Oh no, we are so frightened of domination, isn't it? Because people have been very dominating. But could be somebody loves you very much, that even a photograph of hers can love you so much, isn't it? Could be. Something we cannot think of someone who is just love. And the photograph has that love within itself. You can use it as you like. Then there should be no objection. None of the peoples before me were photographed. Christ was never photographed. Buddha was not photographed. Even Muhammad was not photographed. This is the first time you have developed this wonderful thing called camera, and this is my photograph, what to do. In
श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी, श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्ली साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माता जी, श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः।
Vishi Mataji, meditation. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Mataji. Let's go down to Shri Mataji and take bandhan.